Welcome back everyone. This is our next Rico rescue. 2 bedside cabinets, or nightstands as you would say in America. Not the prettiest things in the world, so we're looking for ideas for a colour scheme or a design. They're pretty basic. It's MDF, made of MDF, with a little inlay. These little they're quite nice, I guess. Not sure how they're connected. I think they're just screwed on. Doesn't seem to be anything holding them. Let's have a look inside. Yeah, it's just a screw. Might change these for something else. I had an idea of going kind of copper, bronze, green. I'd seen some nicer knobs, but they're quite expensive. It was almost €20 just for 6, so we'd need 12. So there's €40 before we start. So what I was thinking of doing is just getting the 6 and putting one in the middle of each drawer, so we can get away with, well, it's $18.99. So as I say, they're quite basic. That's not even screwed on. That's supposed to be screwed or clipped into there. I think it clips in. But yeah, very basic. Around the side, and then just, obviously we're not really bothered about the back, but just a thin plywood back. But they're quite heavy. It's very thick, that MDF, the top of it. I've got this detail underneath, and then a little bit of detail at the bottom, which we could always take off, I guess. So let me know if you've any ideas for a colour scheme or design. Oh, welcome back. We are starting with these bedside drawers that were, as you know, horrible. They were kind of nicotine stained, so I think I'm still undecided what to do, but whatever we do, we needed to get rid of that horrible nicotine look that they had. So regardless of what we do, it needed a base coat. So we've done a quick white primer all over. I've experimented on the other bedside unit with reds and coppers and kind of Moroccan colours, and I'm still undecided what to do. So I'm thinking maybe just keep it simple, kind of Frenchy farmhouse green, a nice sage green with brass. Yeah, so I need to sleep on that one, I think. So I think I'm going to go with this vinyl on the drawers, and then just paint the sides just a plain colour, and just keep it simple with some with the brass handles, either the old ones polished up or some new ones, and then just I'm going to do some highlights inside this detailing here. I'm going to put some of the red just in these recesses here at the top. So let's let's just try a little piece and see how we get on. So we've done some detailing. I know it doesn't look very detailed, but it's just those recesses where the red is. Now I want to go over the rest of it with the green that matches the vinyl, over the white sort of sections of that. So I'm led to believe that if I just run my brush over, if I run the brush quickly over that, it'll just do the raised white bits. So let's just try it, see how we get on. 1 second. Like so. Didn't get to the end. Okay, so we just need to do that top edge and this bottom edge, and then into this detailing here. So we've got one piece of the vinyl on, but I'm not happy with the placement of it because all the detail is kind of, well, what detail there isn't much on the section of vinyl that we chose, and what is there is covered by the knobs. So we'll find a nice section that's got more detail in it, and do another piece over the top. So instead of replacing that at first, what I've done is I've started with some of the pattern at the top, and I'm going to work my way down and then go over that piece. The problem I have now is matching up with this pattern, because if I just go from where I cut the roll at the bottom here, the pattern isn't going to match up because this is folded underneath the bottom of the drawer. So part of that flower isn't going to be on the top of the next part of the roll. It's under there, concealed. So we're going to have to skip a section of the wallpaper to find that flower, so we can match it up, because it's not going to match where we cut the paper. So let's find that and get it matched. We got all three pieces on eventually. It was a nightmare to try and match them up where the drawers meet. I know they're not perfect, ever so slightly out, but the paper kind of stretches on its own. I mean, that one's okay. This was the hardest one, the bottom one, but it looks okay. So I was thinking of doing this green. I've added a bit of white to it just to try and match it with this more, because it was more of a sage green. I've done very roughly some of the red from these leaves at the top, and I've just been touching up with a tiny little brush the green, but it's not perfect, so I need to go over that again. So I'm wondering whether to do, I think putting vinyl on the sides is going to be too much, so I might do the green here and then maybe try and pick up the yellow or something here, and then green again on the top, maybe highlight some highlights here, and again highlights on here. Not sure yet, can't decide. Okay, so leave it with me and we'll see what we come up with. So we've done one of the units with vinyl. Now we've got to replicate on the other three. These are both the top drawers, so I need to match the pattern. I mean, it's not imperative that I do it, but I'd like to do it. So we've found this section with these two flowers, which is this piece here. So we need to get that on there in the same position as it is on this drawer. Oh, blown away. I've got this first piece stuck on, but it needs to come off, unfortunately, because I don't know whether you can see the light that's coming through this paper here. You can see the drawer, the edge of the drawer underneath it, but we've got it, it's coming in slightly, so you can see how narrow this is now. Now if we carry on down, by the time we get to the third drawer, the bottom drawer, the edge is going to be coming over the front here. We're going to run out of paper, so it needs turning ever so slightly, so this edge remains parallel with the drawer. But we understand what I'm trying to say, so let's pull that off and get it straight. We've got that straight now. That's running parallel to the edge of the drawer, so we're good to go. We can we need to cut these corners so it folds round on each side, again on this side, and then just cut off this excess at the bottom. So let's do that next. The other side is okay, but this has got very little folding down, holding it down on this side. So I'm just going to cut a section of just a plain green out of here and stick that on there, and then hopefully you're not going to see any of this. So there we go, we've got that edge all nice and neat now, so you can't see any joins, which is good. So we've got this piece lined up roughly. I think I've just invented a vinyl sticking hack, because I had a nightmare once I tried to stick this on, once I peeled the backing off, trying to line it back up again without it sticking. So what I've done is I've put it on and then I've folded it so it'll have a crease along this top edge. So hopefully when I peel the backing off, I can just line up this crease along the top and it should marry up first time. Here's hoping. Well, that actually worked remarkably well, apart from one thing I overlooked, and that was, it was okay having it the crease that way, but I didn't put a crease on this side, so I didn't know how far left or right to go with it. But remarkably, I put it on and the first time it matched exactly. So we're going to peel off, I'm not going to peel anything off because there's nothing to peel off. We're going to trim the edges and stick it all down and then start on the bottom drawer. So that's it all stuck, and again we need to cut a strip just to cover up that dodgy looking end. So there's drawers 1 and 2 and it's matched up nicely. So let's do drawer number 3. Well, there we are with 3 drawers, and we got I keep saying drawer number 3 like it's on some quiz show or something. It's the bottom drawer, the middle drawer and the top drawer, but my trusty hack that I invented 5 minutes ago failed miserably, and it took me about 10 attempts to get that lined up. As you can see, the edges are lined up, that's lined up, that is ever so slightly out, but it's good enough. No one's going to notice other than me and you. Okay, so the next thing is I've ordered some new knobs, 2 for each drawer. I did want to get something this colour, but they had 1 pack left, which is only 6, which would mean us doing 1 in each drawer. I didn't want to do that, so I've gone with kind of a brighter red rather than this sort of dark red. So hopefully it'll be in keeping. And where the holes are positioned, they maybe are gonna look like they're part of the thing, like, because they're like almost like a flower shaped, petal shaped. And then for the sides here, I've ordered a stencil. So this needs another coat of green. The other one's not had any green yet, so we're going to do that next. And then I've ordered some paint that's this yellow colour, and we're going to do the stencil sprayed in the yellow, so it'll be kind of in keeping with this front section. So time for painting. So the other cabinet has had the second coat, this one's had 1 coat, but now we've got to try and do this intricate bit with the red paint, which looked terrible on the other one, so I've had to try and doctor it slightly, go over it, touch it up. So the hard bit is trying to keep your arm still. Anyway, let's have a go and see what it comes out like. Right, so we've got 2 coats on both of the units now, and we're just waiting on the stencil and the knobs. They've been delivered, but it means getting in the car to go drive to the shop to go and collect them, and because it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the shops are all closed for siesta, so I thought while we're waiting for them to reopen at 5, this is very matte, which I know sort of chalk paint is supposed to be, but I want to give it a bit of protection, bearing in mind it's going to be a bedside cabinet. So I want to give it a coat of wax, so it just gives it a bit more protection, and it might take away a bit of that matte. Let's just try a little bit in the middle. It's covered in dog hairs now, so we're going to try and just coat the whole of this top surface with this wax. I should have let it sit out in the sun for a while, soften it up a little bit. I can't see where I've done and where I've not done. So let's give this a speedy wax, and then we'll give it a buff with a clean cloth, and hopefully it'll just give it a bit more protection, because if it's at the side of someone's bed, it might have coffee on it in the morning, dentures on it overnight. Don't know what these people put on there when the curtains are closed. And now we'll just give it a wipe over with the clean side part of the of this cloth. It doesn't look any different, to be honest. But we know it's there. Maybe it needs a second coat. Let's try a second coat. I just realised that the instructions on the tin say apply the wax, then wait 10 minutes, then buff it. So I was a bit over eager to get it buffed. So we're going to wait and give it another buff. Then it says to do another coat if you want a nice sheen. So I'll go through that off camera. So we've given the tops 3 coats of the wax, and then I've done all the other 3 sides with the stencil. So we've just got this last one to do. So we just want to give it a light spray. I don't want to have a full yellow colour. I want still the green to partially show through. So let's do this last one and then we're done. And that's it, I think. Let's just peel this off now. We did get a bit of overspray on the others, so I made sure I masked this one off a bit better than I did on the other 3 sides. And there we go. So let's reveal the finished units. And there we are, 2 matching units with the new knobs. You can see what I mean about the colour of them. They're more of an orange, but the more I look at them, the sun's gone in now, the more they are a bit like that. But you can see why I wanted the slightly darker red. And then we've got stenciling on the sides, on all 4 sides. The detailing at the top. So there we go, another finished project, and we'll go to the unit this week and get some more stuff to see what we can do. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next one.